Hi guys, I hope everybody had a nice Easter. Today is the 22nd, Monday, the day after Easter. I just wanted to say hello and just take a minute to talk. Holidays are rough for me. They're very rough. I try to portray in my videos the nice times that I have with family members, but the truth is that they're scarce. There is usually a lot of time in between, and there's a lot of dysfunction and I don't even know what words to use for it. There are a lot of issues within the family, and I love my kids and my grandkids with all my heart and would love to be with them every day of my life if I could. But there are issues, and because of that, I don't get to see my kids and my grandkids as often as I'd like. And sometimes there are longer periods of time where, everyone's getting along and, I get to see the kids more often. And but invariably, it ends with dissension and bickering, and it's just really hard. It's very, very hard. I've spent a lot of holidays alone, including Easter, including this Easter. And you would think that because of that, I'd be used to it, and I would have an easier time just getting on the road and going and taking off and going wherever, whether it be to join into one of the caravans or something like that. But believe it or not, it makes it harder. I don't know why. I think because I don't want to miss a moment that I could spend with my kids. I never know when they're going to be okay with me spending time with them. It could be tomorrow. It could be 6 months from now. I never know. So I don't know. I'm afraid of missing an opportunity, I guess, if I'm too far away. There have been times when it felt like it was hopeless, like it does now, like I'm never going to get that call saying, "Mom, why don't you come over?" And usually, honestly, I don't. Usually I'm the one calling, and I get ignored and ignored and ignored, and then by some miracle, one time when I call, the phone's answered and we talk, and they might say, "Why don't you come over?" Or you know, we're about to go here or there. Do you want to come with us? Something like that. But this last time it ended really, really bad. So I'm afraid it's going to be a long time before there's any kind of reconciliation phone call of any type. I keep trying. I keep calling. Can I see the kids? Will you wish the kids a happy Easter for me? And I get no response. Or just a no. And that's it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I really want to stay in the area so that I can spend time with the kids while they're off school. But last year, what I did was to ensure that I would get to spend some time with the kids throughout the summer, I had some extra money. I don't want to go into where I got it or, you know, what it was from or anything like that, but I had some extra money, and I spent almost $1,000 and went and got summer passes for a nearby park. And because of that, I mean, for everyone, for my kids and grandkids, and food passes so we could eat at the park. And because of that, I was able to spend a lot of time with the kids throughout the summer. But even that apparently wasn't appreciated. I mean, what I mean is, I don't mean they didn't appreciate the passes. What I mean is, they, sort of sarcastically, they didn't appreciate having to have me along. Or feeling like they had to have me along as a condition or a repayment for me having paid for everyone's passes. And I looked at it like, this is a great way for the whole family to get to spend time together. But what was told to me was, your gifts always, how did she say it? There's always a catch. Your gifts always come with a catch. So, the terrible catch that they just couldn't bear was that I wanted to go to the park with them. That was asking too much. And it didn't necessarily have to be every time they went. I mean, there's a lot of days when I am not up for it because of health issues. I just can't do it. And so, I mean, there was a lot of times they could have gone with the kids without me. It's just that when I felt good and felt up for it, you know, I enjoyed going. I enjoyed just spending the time with them, walk around and sit, eat with them. I don't ride rides. I got myself a pass to go and just spend time with my kids and my grandkids. Well, I always say kids, and if I just say kids, I mean both, normally. Excuse me. But, I don't know. I mean, was that asking too much? I know this a couple times. I heard them talking about buying passes for this summer. And so I said to my daughter, you're going to pay for mine this year, right? Because I don't have the money. I don't even have the money to buy one for myself, let alone for the whole family again. That was really a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That's why it meant so much to me. But, unless I hit the lottery, which I really plan on doing someday. That's in the plan. It would really be nice. I forget what I was saying. Oh, I said, you're paying for my ticket this year, right? And I was told no. Just like that. Like, are you kidding? That was my response. So, and that was more than once. That wasn't a one-time thing either. That was more than once. That was one daughter. The other daughter told me that they planned on paying for a pass for me for this summer. But that was before there was a big altercation and me being asked to leave. I don't really want to say too much because I don't want I'm not sure how much I can say. But let me just say this. I don't drink alcohol at all. Not at all. I quit over 20 years ago. And it wasn't because I was an alcoholic. I may have drank a little more than I should have. I spent a lot of time with people that did that. That's what they did. And so that's what I did at the time. And drank socially, but too often, I guess you would say. I don't know. Anyway, it became a health issue. My triglycerides were off the chart, and I had to do something about it, and I had to do something fast. So I just stopped drinking that day. I said, well, I have to cut out these White Russians. That's what I loved, was the White Russians. And all that milk. And I think vodka is high in calorie. I'm sure Kahlua would be. Anyway, the whole thing was bad. So I cut out the White Russians, and I cut out eating at McDonald's and Burger King. It was, I mean, I ate at other fast food places as well, I'm sure, but those were the two that I was eating all the time in the morning, getting coffee and breakfasts and that. And I just stopped. I stopped all fast food and stopped drinking all at once. And I'm glad I did. I mean, I'm really glad I did. But after not drinking alcohol for 20 years, I have to say, and let me just say another reason, I'd been thinking about stopping anyway because there is some alcoholism. There's some issues of alcoholism and drug abuse in my family. And I don't want to have to worry about addiction. I don't like to have to worry about it with my kids or with their partners. And it's certainly never going to be an issue for me. So I talked until the camera cut out. The phone storage was used up. So I may have to edit a little bit of that out. Although it's very impromptu and I don't know what I would edit out of that. I probably shouldn't say any of it. But I've spent many, many years of my life being silent and not talking about things that hurt me or things that bother me. And I have a hard time staying silent anymore. And that's one of the problems that I'm having with my kids. They don't want to hear my opinion about things. They don't want to hear things that upset me that they do. When really, if I do try and talk to them about something that is upsetting to me, most of the time I would say it's because it's something I've already lived through, and I don't like to see them have to, suffer any of the same pain that I've gone through in my life. So I try and, help them or steer them whenever I can. But with one of my daughters, it's completely unwanted. And with the other one, it's becoming that way because they live right next to each other and they talk, and I don't know. Here I go again, not knowing what to say or what I can say. I'd rather not say too much. I just want to say that it's hard. It's hard having holidays. When you're right there near your family and they don't care to have you there with them. That's a hard pill to swallow. So it's really not easy for me. And so, if nothing else, I hope someone gets something from this video. Even if it's just someone working a little harder at, maybe reconciling with someone in their life that, they have issues with like this, or someone maybe understanding a little bit how much they might be hurting someone else. It's just not easy. It's really not easy. So I just hope everyone had a nice holiday. For me, it meant buying KFC and driving over to the McDonald's parking lot and eating my KFC in the McDonald's parking lot so that I could use their Wi-Fi and download some movies. That was my Easter. While I, spent the whole week leading up to Easter in the same town where my kids live, hoping that they would want to see me and want to include me in the holiday. And it didn't happen. So you can see why I look to the nomad community as an extension of my family, because things with my own family are very strained. So I'm glad I have you guys in my life. When I say thank you for being a part of my life at the end of some of my videos, maybe you understand a little better now why I do that. I hope so. So, hope you had a nice holiday, and I'll talk to you again soon.